In the currency quadrant today, taking a look at the Canadian dollar. September Canadian dollar is weaker overall. Even though we ended up a little bit lower today, it had a pretty good rebound off of the bottom. The high today was up a little bit less than 0.2%, 79.19 and a half was that high in the September Canadian dollar contract. On the downside, though, we were down almost 1%, 78.35 was that low print. Ended up finishing the day, as I mentioned, right around 0.1% lower. That's a pretty big comeback overall. And the second session lower for the Canadian dollar sets up the first down week in the last three after being up 2.5%, a little bit more than 2.5% in the last 2 weeks. We're now down 1.18% so far. So overall, the Canadian dollar still looks weak as its general trend. We had a rate decision this morning from the Bank of Canada, and they left rates unchanged and maintained the current level of purchases in their asset purchase program. They do expect the economy to recover, according to their statement, in the second half, but they're being cautious, as evidenced by the part of their statement where they said, and I'm quoting, the bank continues to expect the economy to strengthen in the second half of 2021, although the fourth wave of COVID-19 infections and ongoing supply bottlenecks could weigh on the recovery. So clearly the Bank of Canada, one of the more cautious banks looking at getting out of asset purchases at low rates, they're staying very, very cautious. Now, we did have a little bit of a rally back, as I mentioned, that had a lot to do with oil prices. The rally in crude oil prices helped the Canadian dollar bounce today. It's a commodity-based currency, and Canada exports a fair amount of crude oil, so it stands to reason that the Canadian dollar would respond to changes in the price of this particular commodity, and crude oil rallied almost 1.5% today. So that helped the Canadian dollar get off the mat from being down almost 1% to being down only a little bit more than 0.1% by the close.